With so many great movies that came out this year, I've had plenty of reasons to gleefully eat my body weight in popcorn. But while it's easy to heap accolades on super popular, well-received films like Captain America: Civil War and Deadpool, there are so many more amazing films that flew under the radar or simply didn't get their just desserts this year. So today on the Dan Cave, we're celebrating the most underrated movies of 2016. The Nice Guys. Shane Black is one of my absolute favorite filmmakers, so it's no surprise that The Nice Guys was also one of the best films of the year. The 1970s detective story takes us through the mean streets of LA as a private eye and a hitman join forces to investigate the disappearance of an adult film star that leads them to weird pool parties, sinister conspiracies, and getting punched in the face a lot. Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe make for a hilarious duo, and Gory Rice drops an all-timer performance for a child actor, and Gosling's Holland March is forever cemented as one of my favorite cinematic heroes, because like me, he also has no sense of smell, and I have to say, it feels damn good to finally see myself up there on the big screen. Sing Street. This movie's basically the perfect counter-programming to the never-ending misery parade that is 2016. John Carney's Sing Street tells the story of a lonely teenager in 1980s Dublin who forms a band with his classmates to impress a local model. You know, that thing we all did in high school, every single one of us. Don't lie to me. It's an impossibly feel-good movie full of great music, charming characters, and endless references to New Wave. Now just be careful you don't accidentally start a band afterwards. Or do, and let me be a part of it, but not the bass. No one wants to play the bass, Jessica. Kubo and the Two Strings. What happens when you combine cursed samurai, enchanted armor, magical musical instruments, and some insanely detailed, mind-boggling, meticulous stop-motion animation? Well, you get one of the best movies of the year that you probably missed, Kubo and the Two Strings from Laika. Honestly, the only thing that would have made it better for me is if Kubo played a guitar instead of a shamisen. What I'm trying to say, Internet, is please re-edit this movie so Kubo plays the guitar, please. I need this. Pete's Dragon. Shut up, I'm not crying, you're crying. I said shut up. Actually, you know, if you watch David Lowery's lavish update of Disney's 1977 animated classic, then chances are we were all crying at the story of an orphaned boy who grew up in the forest alongside his magical camouflaging furry dragon pal, Elliot. I don't know what to say, guys. This movie really hit me in an unexpected way. I went in just expecting this sort of kids movie, but god damn, not all dragons have to be scary like on Game of Thrones. Some just breathe feels instead of fire. Swiss Army Man. Paul Dano rides Daniel Radcliffe's magical farting corpse like a jet ski, and that is just the opening scene of one of the funniest and most heartfelt movies of the year. Now, don't let its sophomoric humor dissuade you, because at the heart of this movie is a deeply creative, sweet story of survival, friendship, and using a dead body's butt as a flamethrower and its penis as a mystical compass. You know, that old chestnut. Is that rigor mortis in your pocket or you? No, wait, yep, that's definitely a dead guy's ween chestnut. It's a great movie. Hunt for the Wilder People. Imagine a survivalist version of Up, set in the bush of New Zealand. Now imagine a rude child and a gruff-bearded version of Dr. Alan Grant are your co-stars. Now imagine laughing your ass off at this caper film that finds an army of social workers, and in some cases a literal army, chasing this dynamic duo across the woods of New Zealand. And last but not least, imagine Rhys Darby as a man who cosplays as a tree. It's epic, it's laugh-out-loud hilarious, and it's from director Taika Waititi, who gave us the brilliant What We Do in the Shadows. Guys, don't choose the Skunk's life, it's gonna choose you. Pop star, never stop, never stopping. The most criminally underseen movie of the year is The Lonely Island's riotously funny takedown of American celebrity culture. The comedy crooners expertly lampoon Justin Bieber in this absurd mockumentary that serves as a worthy 21st century successor to the likes of This Is Spinal Tap. And, if nothing else, it gave us the donkey roll. Gods of Egypt. Okay, alright, bear with me on this one. Is it dumb as hell? Yeah. Could they have better navigated that whitewashing controversy? Yeah, absolutely. Is it sitting around a 16% or so on Rotten Tomatoes? Yeah. But is it an unreasonably fun movie full of strange godly space battles, gonzo mythology, and warrior women riding giant fire-breathing snakes starring weirdly gigantic Jamie Lannister? You bet your ass it is. And that is why I love it. Hardcore Henry. Now this movie was an audio-visual blitzkrieg of nonstop action, violence, and bloodshed all across Moscow. The first-person POV action movie delivers all the visceral thrills and intensity of a video game without coming off as gimmicky. It's basically one long revenge tale with these weird twists and turns, psychic villains, and some seriously stomach-churning fight scenes. Sure, a better title would have been Crisis on Infinite Charlton Copley's, but sometimes bad titles happen to good movies. Train to Busan. Holy Smokes, you guys. I know we're all getting tired of zombies everywhere all the time, always, but Train to Busan is worth the trip. The Korean language horror film follows a father and a daughter who get trapped on a speeding train during the middle of a zombie outbreak. Basically imagine Snowpiercer meets 28 Days Later, and you have a recipe for one of the best and most enjoyable horror flicks of the year. And if nothing else, it'll make you stop complaining about your dang commute for a minute. Everybody wants some. That's what I love about these Richard Linklater movies, man. I get older, they keep the same mustaches. I'm driving a Lincoln. Anyway, you guys get it. The man who brought us Dazed and Confused and Boyhood returns with an ode to 1980s masculinity with Everybody Wants Some. The film features the lowest stakes countdown maybe of all time. Basically, they're waiting until the start of the fall semester at a Texas college. But that's kind of the beauty of it. This movie takes us back to this nostalgic place full of friendship and beers and fantastic facial hair. That halcyon time where summer seemed to stretch on forever. Honestly, it's a place that sounds a hell of a lot nicer than 2016. I know I'd like to visit. Green Room. It was amazing to see the late, great Anton Yelchin in his final performance as Chekhov in Star Trek Beyond, but the dearly departed actor actually turned in one of the year's best performances with another Star Trek alum, Sir Patrick Stewart, in the terrifying thriller Green Room, about a punk band that winds up trapped in a nightclub run by neo-Nazi skinheads. After they witness a murder, they get trapped inside, and the result is tense, it's terrifically acted, and will make you genuinely afraid of Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. And those are just a handful of the most underrated and underappreciated movies of 2016. But tell me, what's your favorite? What would you add to this list? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, give me an underrated thumbs up. Be sure to like and subscribe, or else you might miss next week's show when we talk about the story of a mustachioed pilot who's forced to land his plane on the Hudson River and then goes on to try and destroy an enclave of fairies in Fern Sully. Until next time, keep on digging. Let's open up the old mailbag, shall we? At Lesser Known Hero asks, weapon of choice, wand or lightsaber? I'm gonna go with wand on this one because I would 115% accidentally cut off no fewer than 7 hands, including my own, if I owned a lightsaber for real. At CrawlBD asks, who would win in a fight between the state of Idaho and a mildly perturbed Hulk? Well, that's a tough question, CrawlBD. I'd like to say the Hulk, but then again, Idaho has his one weakness. Carbs, specifically delicious potatoes. Potatoes! Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a Hulk. At Cleoe, whatever jumble of Scrabble vowels that was, asks, what's your alignment, D&D, and your Briggs-Myers type? Well, my alignment usually depends on my character, but I'd say IRL, I'm probably lawful neutral, according to the quiz I just took. And I'm also an ENFP. What up? But tell me, what's your D&D alignment and your Briggs-Myers type? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time!